Hello, everyone. Hi. Okay, I'm gonna wait for a couple more people to hop on, but if you're watching the replay, I'm just gonna go ahead and I guess I'm just gonna go ahead and get started, aren't I? Okay, so I want to talk to you guys today about something that I am really excited about. Basically, I'm launching a signature program right now, and I've gotten a lot of questions about it, and so I want to clear it up and I want to give you some really awesome value about what kind of a sneak peek of like what it's going to be and what I can help you with when we're in the program. So I'm launching a program called the Intuition Lifestyle Academy, and basically this is going to be it's a program that really synthesizes everything that I know about up leveling and about living an intuitive lifestyle. Hello everyone, thank you for popping on. So for me, I really want to give you an explanation of what an intuitive lifestyle means for me. And so living in an tongue-tied. Living an intuitive lifestyle means that you are showing up intentionally. It means that you are showing up with the intention of continuing to grow. And something that I've really experienced over my this year, the year of 2019, where I've had these quantum shifts and I've had these quantum leaps and these really, really big up levels, I've experienced this thing where you tap into flow. And so basically, the biggest lesson that I've learned is that the less I push and the less I try, the more things happen. And the reason for this is because the only constant thing in life is change, is evolution, is growth. And so if you are staying still, if you are still dealing with the same problems that you've been dealing with for the past month, year, whatever it is, you're not growing. And the reason you're not growing is because you are holding yourself back. You're zooming in on this problem. You're looking at this problem like it's this big thing when really you need to be able to let go of it. And so there's this weird kind of contradictory thing. Thank you for all the hearts. There's this weird contradictory thing in change and in life where if you want to grow, you actually have to, one, stop trying, and two, suspend your disbelief. And so suspension of disbelief is this phenomenon where if you are involved in a story, if you're involved in, let's say, you're watching a movie, you're in a theater, you're watching a movie. And so if you're watching a movie, all of a sudden you realize that like, oh my gosh, I'm in a theater. I'm surrounded by people. I'm surrounded by strangers. I'm surrounded by like people. I'm not actually in this movie that I've been thinking of. And so you actually let go of and you disconnect from your disbelief. And so the disbelief when you're watching a movie, this suspension of disbelief is you're watching this movie and you're so caught up in the story that you forget where you really are. You forget that you're in a theater. You forget that you're watching a movie. You forget that you're in a room, a dark room full of strangers. You forget where you are because you've suspended your disbelief of this isn't real. And so where we are, if you are consistently dealing with the same problems, if you are consistently experiencing the same issues, you are consistently experiencing the same resistance, you can't get over this level, you cannot get over this challenge that you are facing, it's because you don't remember where you are. It's because you are so caught up in this story, the story of I don't know how to get over this, that you forget that you're not actually in it, that you're creating it, that you are watching it. So you have to step back. And this is when we reclaim our power. This is what the Intuition Lifestyle Academy is about. It's about stepping back and realizing that you are not only watching the story, but that you're creating it as well. And so if you are consistently dealing with the same problems, it's because you don't remember where you are. You're still caught up in the story. And so the story for you right now may be, I am struggling to make sales in my business. I'm trying to launch this thing and it's not working for me. I'm trying to do whatever it is and it's not working. If it's not working, that's the story that you are caught up in and you need to take a step back. Because You're so focused on it. And if you're in a river, if you think about flow in general, if you're laying in a river and you're flowing with the water, it doesn't stop. If you stop while you are in a river and you're just floating downstream, if you stop, it's because you're holding on to something. It's because you've decided to stop and hold on to this rock and stare at it and say, oh my gosh, I'm not moving because there's this rock in the way. And the reason, how do you get past that? It's not by figuring out how to solve the problem of the rock. It's by letting it go. You have to let go. You're the one holding onto it. You're the one zoomed in on that story saying, this rock is blocking me. I can't get into flow. Flow is the natural state. Movement, progression, growth, expansion is your natural state. This is where we are supposed to be. And so the challenges that you're facing, these rocks that you're holding on to, these stories that you are so caught up in, has nothing to do with your reality being more powerful than you. It has nothing to do with the fact that the river isn't flowing. It has nothing to do with the fact that you don't know how to accomplish this, or that you're not good enough, or that you don't have the resources or the money or whatever it is. It's because you're holding on to the problem. And so when you suspend your disbelief, when you take a step back, when you let go of the fucking rock, when you let go, you can step back into flow. You return to your natural state when you realize that you have the power to let go of that problem and that you don't actually need to solve it. And so if you are in this river and you've decided that this rock is in my way, I have to figure out how to get the rock out of the river in order to move on, that's not true. Because it's probably a lot bigger than you can even handle. That it is a universal problem that has nothing to do with you. You don't need to solve those problems. You don't need to solve this thing that you are holding on to and that you are so zoomed in on. You have to let go. And so something that I've done over the past, so in the beginning of this year, I'm going to kind of tell the story a little bit. I really let go. I was trying to make a business. I was trying to make people realize that I knew what I was talking about, that I understand things. I will be saving a recording, and this will be, I'm thinking it'll probably be on YouTube later today. I will send you the link and you can share it for sure. I'd love for you to share it. That would make my day. So anyways, at the beginning of this year, it was sometime last year, I discovered something called human design. And so human design is this really, really magical thing that for me has been life-changing. And so I've really embraced it. I've really learned about it. I've really dug into it. I've really discovered myself through human design. And so the natural progression for me was I was trying so hard to be like all of the people that I saw on Instagram. I was only talking about the things that they were talking about because I was scared of my own voice. I was convinced that I was shy and I didn't know how to speak. And actually, my voice is one of the strongest things about my design and about my energy. I know how to speak, and speaking comes very naturally to me. It's very flowy for me. So when I stopped holding on to the story that I didn't know who I was and that I didn't know what I was good at, everything fell into place. I went from making $0 in my business in over 2 years of trying to my first not quite there yet, to my first 5-figure month in 6 months. And so it didn't happen by trying. It didn't happen by trying to solve those problems and holding on to all of those issues and trying to figure it out and figuring out how and the why and all of these details. It happened when I let go. And so living an intuitive lifestyle means you're okay with letting go because you know that it's inevitable. You know that the destination where you want to go is going to happen, and you don't have to solve every problem along the way. And there's this suspension of disbelief where you have to remember that you've zoomed in on this problem and you're looking at it, and you don't have to figure it out. You have to let go. And so there's this suspension of disbelief where we're detached from what we're seeing because what we're seeing are possible ways to go. And so if you're on a river, these different paths, these different little branches of the river, those are the possibilities. Those are the things that you're branching off and you're like, oh, I could go this way and detour. And you're trying to figure out how you're supposed to get where you want to go, when really all you have to do is stop grabbing onto the obstacles, stop grabbing onto the things that are holding you back, and let yourself flow. And you let yourself flow in a way that, you just let go. It just happens when you stop trying. And so how human design plays into this is human design tells you and shows you the areas in your life that you are more likely to hold on to things. The areas in your life where you are more likely to try and be someone else. And so if you are in like a rowboat and you are looking at someone who's in a canoe, they're going to be paddling differently. And if you're trying to use, a paddle that has one paddle on the one side, that's what you have, and you're trying to use it like a canoe where it has the two paddles, it's not going to work. And so human design shows you exactly what you're working with. It shows you exactly who you are. It shows you the areas that you are more likely to hold on to things and to look for problems and to think that you are not good enough. And it also shows you the areas where you are more likely to hold yourself back because once upon a time you were told that you were too much. And so when you use this, you can also see what your biggest gifts are, what your biggest talents are, what you're here to do on this planet, and how to tap into and listen to your intuition. Because everyone's intuition is going to show up differently. It shows up completely differently, and human design helps you. It gives you a map of exactly how it's going to show up for you, what it sounds like, how to connect with it, how to tune inwards. And so one thing that I do differently is that I implement human design into all of my work. It has been life-changing for me, and it's life-changing for you too. It starts next Monday. So we have a week from tomorrow and it starts. So send me messages if you're interested because it's going to be really, really amazing. So yes, human design has been amazing for me, and it's something that I want to bring to more people. And so what I've decided to do with this program is to really embrace the things that I am good at and really embrace I've created a container where I'm able to do my life purpose work. And here's what I am really, really, really good at. I don't stop moving. I don't stop moving. I see the progression every day. I see that every problem can be overcome. Everything that you do can lead to something else, and that we don't have to stay stagnant. We don't have to stay looking at and trying to solve every single little problem that comes along. I'm really good at seeing where you're holding on to things and teaching you how to let go. I'm really good at helping you take that step back so that you can see, oh, I'm holding on to this and I'm trying to solve this problem that doesn't exist. Actually, I've created this problem and I can create a reality where I don't have to deal with it and where I can let go of it. And so something that I do really, really well is I always make changes. I don't stop moving and I don't let other people stop moving. And it's not in a pushy way. It's bringing you back to that reality where flow is your reality. It's waking you up to realizing that you're in control of this and that growth and change is the only way that we are naturally built. We are here to grow. We are here to evolve. We are here to change. Change is the only thing that is constant in this reality. Every day is different. Every moment is an evolution. We stand on the edge of infinity. Anything can happen at the next moment. And so when you realize that literally anything is possible, you can take a step back from focusing on these little problems that don't exist, and you can make quantum leaps. You make quantum leaps by stop trying to solve the little problems and taking a step back. And it's that suspension of disbelief. It's telling yourself and reminding yourself that this problem you've imagined doesn't exist. And when you do that, you remember how powerful you are. When you remember how powerful you are, you embody it and you step into it and you remember, oh, that's right. I've created all of these problems. I'm here to grow. I'm here to expand. I'm here to do great things. And I can't do that if I'm trying to solve the same problem over and over and over and over again. If you are spending days, weeks, months, even years trying to solve the same problem, you're not doing yourself or anyone around you any good. Because the world needs you to grow. We need you to expand because that's what you're here to do. Your soul has contracts with other souls and you can't fulfill those contracts. You cannot help the people that you are here to help if you are holding on to the rocks and you are not letting yourself flow. It's not about trying to solve the problems. And so we get so caught up in this idea of, I have to figure it out. I have to figure out how I'm supposed to get there. I'm trying to solve these universal problems. with a consciousness that's not actually capable of solving them. And so if you're trying to figure out how you're supposed to have this launch, how this business is supposed to work out for you, whatever it is, how you're supposed to find the right message in your marketing and all of these details, you're not connecting with your soul, and you're not remembering that you've created this entire reality, and you're not remembering that you are in charge. And so flow and actual growth and expansion, again, it doesn't happen through effort. It happens through release. It happens through letting go of the outcome. And so here's a fun little, we're going to go off on a different track now. If you are attached to an outcome, you're lying to yourself about what you actually want. And so if you are saying, I want money, I want to manifest money, I want to create more money and abundance in my life, and you're resisting it, it's because you've attached a different meaning to that money. It's not just money, it's not just paper, because money is abundant and it's a natural, neutral resource. It's not good, it's not bad. It doesn't have consciousness. It cannot label itself as good or bad. It's just neutral. It just is. And so it actually can't do anything. It's our minds and our programming that has labeled it as good or bad. And so if you are thinking, okay, I want to manifest money, and you look at why, is it because you really like the color green and paper looks really good all over your house? Or is it the freedom that you're craving? Is it the approval of your parents? Is it, I think that I will feel better? Is it, I think that somehow I'm going to be lovable if I can make more money? Somehow I will be validated if my business takes off. Somehow the world will see me. I'll finally feel seen. I'll finally feel recognized. I'll finally feel successful. I'll finally, whatever it is, insert your story. It's not the money that you want. It's the approval. It's the, love. It's the success. And so if you are creating a reality where I want money, money equals love, but I am not worthy of love, you are also saying I am not worthy of money. And so if you're not honest about what it is that you're actually trying to manifest, if you're trying to manifest money and you're saying you're trying to manifest money, but money to you means love, and you don't feel worthy of love, you're never going to be able to manifest the money or the love, because you've created a disconnect. And so you have to cut the cord between money and love, figure out and decide that you are worthy of love, try shift inward and discover how to love yourself and how to give yourself the love that you want, and then you won't care about the money. And then when you're not caring and when you're not attached and you're not holding on to it and you're not restricting it and you're not trying to figure out how it's going to happen, it happens naturally. And it happens through flow. And so quantum manifestation is a bigger step. It's doing this at a bigger level. It's deciding that every day I'm going to make progress, and I'm going to choose that every single action that I take is going to be backed with power, with certainty, and with impact. And it's deciding that I don't have to say this affirmation 1,000 times for it to stick. I'm going to go through it one time, and I'm going to say it with certainty, and I'm going to say it with energy, and that's going to change my life. That's going to reprogram my brain. It's realizing that you assign the value to your actions. And so if you decide that journaling on this topic is going to help you overcome it, or posting about your course is going to help you launch it, or posting about your coaching is going to help you bring in the customers, okay, how impactful is that post? Do you believe that you have to post 1,000 times before someone's going to notice you, and that your posts mean this much? Or are you going to decide that your action is this big, that it's huge, that you only have to do it once or twice and the right people are going to find you, and that you just have to put it out there and that the universe gets to support you? How supported do you allow yourself to feel? How supported are you going to let yourself be? Do you believe that you are worthy of support? Do you believe that you are worthy of and powerful enough to command that amount of universal support? That's huge. We don't believe that we are worthy of support. So many people don't believe that you are worthy of support. And that's painful. And that is you looking again, that's you zooming in and thinking, okay, well, I'm not good enough. I don't have that much power, when really that's the most creative and most powerful thing that you've created, as a reality where you believe, it's a reality that's so realistic that you've convinced yourself that you don't have power. That's how powerful you are. You're so powerful that you convinced yourself that you're not powerful. And so it's a game. It gets to become a game of hide and seek. It gets to become playful. It gets to become, okay, I'm looking at this situation. And this situation looks like, the illusion is that I don't have the resources. I don't have the money. I don't have the time. I don't have the, confidence. I don't have the certainty. I don't have whatever trait it is. I don't have it. It looks like I don't have it. Actually, I know that that's not true. It's not true because it doesn't feel good. And if it doesn't feel good, if it makes me feel powerless, if it makes me feel small and not good enough, then it is not true. And so I'm going to decide that actually the resources I need are available and they're here and they're present. I'm just not looking for them. And I'm going to decide that I'm open and that the universe gets to bring them to me and that I do get to be supported and I do get to feel good and I do get to have the resources because I want to overcome this level. I want to grow. I want to expand. I want to accomplish this. I want to feel like I am good enough. And then once you are open to that, once you're open to the reality of, oh, okay, actually, the illusion of me not having this is not real. The reality is I do have this and now it gets to show up. That's you playing with magic. And then those things get to come into your experience. Then those things get to show up and be present and be shown, and you get to be guided to where they are. When you're open to the guidance and the intuition and living a life intuitively, you get to realize that you have everything that you need at your disposal at all times. You're supported, you're loved, you're cared for. You have everything that you need. You have the resources available to you to accomplish this level. And then they get to show up because that's you remembering who you are. That's you taking back your reality. That's you taking back and stepping back and the suspension of disbelief. That's where you're believing again. That's where you're returning to, oh, that's right. I was caught up in this little problem reality that I thought was real, and actually it wasn't even real. And so I'm going to step back and realize that the illusion was that I don't have the power to do this. And the truth is that I do have the power to do it. And now the truth is the power and the resources and the how and everything else gets to show up for me. It's about remembering that. It's about taking a step back. And so this is how I played. This is how I went from making $0 in my business in 2 years to my first 5-figure month in 6 months. And so it was realizing that I had the power, that I had the voice. It was about giving myself permission to use those gifts, to be powerful, and really giving myself permission to decide, okay, I get to do this once. I get to put this out there and it gets to be received, it gets to be loved, it gets to be cherished. The right people get to show up for me. Because the illusion was that I wasn't capable, that I wasn't good enough, that I wasn't loud enough, that I didn't have a big enough audience. All of those things was an illusion, and that's not true. And it's not true because it felt true, but it didn't feel good. And because it didn't feel good, that's why I decided it wasn't true. And then bigger things happened. The resources that I wanted came. The things that I wanted came. The growth that I experienced got to happen. The growth that I desired got to happen. And it wasn't from trying to figure out all of the problems. It was about releasing them and realizing that I am bigger than each of those problems. I am more powerful than each of those problems. You are more powerful than each of those problems. And so if you stop focusing on them and you realize, actually, I am so powerful that I don't even need to solve all of these. I'm going to snap my fingers and have the universe do it for me because I'm supported and loved and cherished. That's how powerful you are. And you don't realize it. You don't even realize, you can't even begin to imagine how much you are capable of. And so the 4-step process that I have come up with is 1, permission. Giving yourself permission to not just be powerful, but to be powerful in your own way. And this is where I use human design, where I show you the gifts that you have. I show you the power that you have. I show you the areas in which you're trying to be things that you're not. I show you where you're holding yourself back. I show you the tools that you are given, the ones that you can use naturally, the ones that are easy and effortless for you to use. I show you how your energy works, and I show you how to connect with that inner vision, that intuition, that inner voice, that inner guide, your energetic representative of your soul. So that's the first one, is giving yourself permission to, 1, use the tools that you have, 2, be the person that you are here to be, and 3, allow yourself to be powerful. The next step is power. This is where we take all of those tools and we leverage them. we really, really play with and we really expand into the ideas and the perspective of, I am so powerful. Hi, Sarah. And so that second phase of once we know who we are, once we've given ourselves permission to be who we really are, we get to step back and we get to leverage that and we get to play with that and we get to use it in ways that you've never used it before, because you're supposed to use it. You have all of this magic, you have all of this power inside of you, and somewhere along the lines you've decided, I don't. And so you've zoomed in this perspective that you don't have this power, you don't know who you are. And so I'm going to show you who you are. I'm going to tell you who you are. I'm going to give you this blueprint of your energy so you can figure out who you are and remember who you are. And then you get to play with these tools. You get to play with this energy. You get to play with, oh my gosh, I am fiery. Oh my gosh, that's right. I am a lot of this. I am a lot of this. I am powerful. You get to play with it. The third step is going to be mastering your mindset. And so once you realize I have all of this power, there tends to be a little bit of fear that comes up of, oh my God, what if I hurt someone? What, I don't know what to do with this. And so we're going to really master your mindset so that you know what you're doing. So you feel like your thoughts support your success. So you feel like your understanding and your energy and everything inside of your head backs you being powerful and knowing what you're doing. We're going to remove all of those mental blocks and those mental limitations that are saying, I don't know who I am. I don't know how to do this. I don't have the resources. I don't have the power, all of those things. And so once you master your mindset, that's mastering that human aspect as well. And so then your mind, your energy, and your spirit, so mind, body, soul, are all going to be in alignment. And that's going to lead us into that fourth phase. The fourth phase is quantum expansion. It's quantum manifestation. It's playing at a much bigger level. And so you have to know who you are. You have to know the gifts that you're working with. You have to understand your power and really own your power and give yourself permission to be powerful. And your mindset needs to be aligned with it. And once everything is in alignment, you get to do amazing things. You get to quantum leap. You get to let go. You get to flow down that river. You get to be so powerful and so centered and so soulful. And so in this course, that's what you're going to do. I'm going to take you from not knowing who you are, from not knowing what your power is, not thinking that you were capable of things, from feeling small and limited by your reality, limited by your mind, limited by your thoughts, into the quantum, beautiful, expansive, and powerful soul that I know you are and that you know you are. So that was a lot. Yeah, where to go to next? Okay, so today is the last day that you can enroll and get all of the bonuses. And so the bonuses are, I'm giving away all 3 of my other digital courses. So we start next Monday with the program. And in the week beforehand, if you enroll today, you can get Codes to Cash, which is a masterclass. It's a 2-hour masterclass on how to make money based off of your human design chart. Life by Design, which is 10 hours of me talking and teaching you about human design, about how to read a chart, how to understand your energy, about all of the basics, not just yours, but everyone around you. So you can go through that and manifesting, the manifesting course, Manifestation Lifestyle. And so this is a program that's 6 weeks long, but you will get all modules immediately. You'll be able to figure out how you manifest according to your human design chart, because everyone's energy is different and it's not a one-size-fits-all process. And so with those, along with the program that we're going to be going through over the next 4 weeks, you will be set up for everything. You will know how to run your business. You will know how to manifest money. You will know how to manifest in general. You will know how to read your human design chart and how to really leverage that energy. And then we're going to go through the permission, the power, the mindset mastery, and the quantum manifestation aspects. It's going to be so much fun. So that's all I have for you today. If you have any questions, if you want the link, any of that, send me a message. And thank you so much for everyone who tuned on and listened to me rant about a bunch of really fun things. I can't wait to have you join the program. Bye. Thank you.